So excited.
Wait, do we want to show
Excited.
outside? No, this is a good view.
They could. What's up, y'all?
We're recording.
Oh, so we're recording.
Hey guys, we're back at it again.
Who are you?
I'm Dorleen.
Mr. Moore.
Hey.
All right, so I went on a rant this morning on Twitter. I did like a video rant of a customer that was saying, it's fun, I'll tell you the end of the story, but he called us and he was trying to compare us to the competitor and he wanted a discount. And he told me, you know, between you and the competitor, there is nothing different in terms of services. The only difference between you and them are your visuals, the visuals of the software. And I don't know why that just triggered me, right? Because if that was the only thing that was different, then why even bring it up if it wasn't important, right?
Yeah.
So I went on a rant on Twitter.
Did you get some feedback from your rant?
My buddy messaged me saying, I'm hooked on your video. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then he said Twitter. So that's the only rant response that I got. But, so that was the thing. That was his concern, yes. So, you know what I responded to him? I told him, I'm like, if that were the case, if visual were the case, and it's only visuals that's important for you or not important for you, then well, let me backtrack actually. It's visuals. Let me start this again. I'll just keep it going. Let me reverse
Rewind.
that.
Bring it back.
I was going to start this whole thing over, but I'm sure people want to see our screw-ups because we're not perfect.
Bloopers, that's what we call them.
Bloopers?
Bloopers?
Bloopers. Anyways, that was his objection. My rebuttal was, it's the visuals that allow my 70-year-old dad to pick up an iPhone for the first time, turn it on, and figure out how to use it within 3 days. That's visuals. That's rebuttal. Visuals, right?
That's a good
So
rebuttal.
if you have a software, a website that's just very, very easy on the eyes, easy to use, simple, intuitive, all that good stuff, and your client, your competitor, or a client is calling you out because you're not different than the competitor, and they're just saying it's easy to use or it's just the visuals and the features are the same as a competitor, call them out.
Let them know.
Call them out. It's the visuals, the UX, what do you call it, user interface that allows somebody that's really old, well, I'm not saying 70 is really old, but that's pretty strong. 70 is not old, right? Let me take that back.
Rewind again, guys.
Somebody older that is not so tech savvy to pick up the phone, an iPhone, and use it so quickly. It's the visuals that will allow any type of customer to go onto your website and figure out exactly what to do because there is no learning curve. And if there is one, it's just very, very slim. You want to share some thoughts on this, Dorleen?
What kind of thoughts do you want from me? I think you actually handled it really well.
I'm so triggered about it.
As you can tell, we're outside in Miami, guys. It's a beautiful Friday.
We changed the scenery. Yeah, it's been raining. Not that we're a weather forecast YouTube channel.
But it's been really rainy, really gloomy.
Yes.
Today, it's very sunny, nice, great energy.
And we're giving a weather forecast.
And we just gave you a forecast.
Yeah.
But I think you actually handled it perfectly. I would have rebutted the same thing.
I mean, this is one of the reasons why I don't use Android. And people will argue. Is that an Android? No. This is an iPhone.
We're out here with the...
People will argue that Android is easier, but I don't think so. I think it's much more complicated. Yeah, it has a lot of bells and whistles and more features, but I pick up an iPhone, I know how to use it. My dad picked up his iPhone. Well, it was my iPhone, I gave to him, and then he knew how to use it. So it's funny. So I'll tell you something in the end. What happened was today he reached out, emailed us and said, you know what, I'm ready to pull the trigger and move forward with you guys.
Yes!
Okay.
That's what we call a closer.
Yes!
Yes!
Anyways, he emailed us back and he said, you know what, all right, where do I sign up, basically? Whatever reason that went through his head, but the point is, visuals is exactly enough of a reason to actually make a decision, to choose a company, to choose a website. Just when it's easy on the eyes, it's easy on the eyes.
Make sure you get all the information as well, though. Just because it's easy on the eyes, sometimes it might not be that great.
Because what's that quote? It's looks
can be deceiving.
Is it that one or is it in the eye of the beholder?
Or eye of the beholder.
What's the quote?
It's either one.
It's not in the eye of the beholder.
The eye of the beholder?
No, there is a.
Now I'm gonna like Google it, guys.
Google it.
Google it. Let's see. And again, guys, if you know any of the answers to the questions that we asked.
What questions?
What we just asked? Is it which one?
Oh,
Which quote is
something
it?
in the eyes of the beholder.
Yeah. Wait.
Oh,
are you
beauty.
sure?
Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder.
I didn't even need to Google it. He got it.
Yeah. But,
Mr. Moore.
Mr. Moore. But it's not even about, the visual is not even about the person. Let's say you have a business, right? And then you have a few people in the business, the main CEO, the owner, then you have a bunch of other people, other decision makers, the assistant, the manager, whatever. It's not just the CEO that has to be sold on it. It has, or the owner. It's everyone else that's going to be using the actual software, website, application. So if it's easy on the eyes on everybody else, then you've got something. Also, the learning curve on a software that's difficult to learn for somebody new is costly for coming. So being biased again, and perfect example, PracticePanther, right? I'm representing, right? Somebody signing up to our software today may say, you know what, it's just not the right fit for us right now, or it could be too expensive, whatever. They have 1,000 excuses. But the real reason people end up staying with us and signing up with us is because they're not getting the software just for themselves. They're getting the software for the paralegal, for the office assistant, for the manager, for the bookkeeper, for the controller, for everyone else in the software, in the firm. And when they plan on hiring somebody in the future, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years down the line, who's going to train them? If it's too complicated to use, who's going to train them? Easy on the eyes is going to train them.
And super intuitive.
Yeah, this is a lot of energy here.
A lot of energy.
Yeah.
We're always here for that energy, guys.
Yeah. All right. I'm out of questions, or I'm out of triggered responses.
That was a good one today.
You
I like your rebuttal.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I like the quick snapback.
What else you got? You got anything to?
Not today.
Maybe not.
Not today.
Maybe not.
Maybe Monday. Because Mondays are marketing Mondays, guys.
I always confuse the camera if I'm looking here or if I'm looking here. So I'm just like.
You gotta just look both ways and just catch it, you know?
Yeah.
But again, guys, thanks for watching. Questions, any answers, or if you want us to talk about anything, drop a comment below, guys.
Peace.